Shalom Israel, Shalom, Shalom. Brother Naquam, watchman for Israel, coming back at you with these precepts and another Monday night fire, giving, of course, our honor and glory to Yahweh, by Shema Mashiach, Malak Bashai. Double honor to the elect elders of the house of David that's been in this truth for decades and decades, patiently waiting and laboring for the second coming of our Lord Yahushai. A hearty, mighty shalom to all of the mighty men of the Most High God who are out there on the highways and byways, pushing this truth, magnifying the ministry, presenting their bodies as a living sacrifice. It's like in enduring all things for the elect's sake. Shalom to those men. Shalom to all of the men that may not be out there on the highways and byways as of yet, but they're working on it. They're getting built up in the spirit. They're praying. They're fasting. They're studying. They're being diligent. And they're abounding in the work of the Lord. Shalom to those men. Shalom to the Aquath out there, the sincere sisters out there, zealous and on fire and diligent and moving in the spirit of our righteous foremothers. Shalom to the ancient men. Shalom to the children. Shalom to the elect of Israel scattered abroad throughout the four corners of the earth. Again, another Monday night fire. Hot seat Q&A, maintain integrity, and the end of the world. Right, so bear with me. Hot seat Q&A, maintain integrity, and the end of the world, man. We got about really 8 weeks or so out until Passover, man. And this is what we always call, through the spirit and power of Yahweh Shemel Shai, sifting season. This is a time when a lot of men get shaken up to and fro concerning doctrine, concerning leaven, and concerning all manner of trespass, confusion, wind, and madness, man. So, and even women, right? And even women. Women are not exempt. The daughters of Zion are not exempt from Satan. Satan doesn't just target, he's not sexist, man, right? He's not sexist. He doesn't just go after men. He goes after women too. He doesn't discriminate, whether you're old or young, man, right? There's no cut cards. There's no mercy when it comes to the spiritual demon Satan. So it's very important that brothers maintain, even before we get into the Q&A, when we dive into these questions, it's very important that brothers understand in these last days how important it is to maintain your integrity and honor as a man of the Lord, right? I'm speaking to the men first and foremost, obviously, because you are the leaders and the future government of the nation, but this applies to all of Israel, right? First, let's go to Job chapter 27. I want to get a few quick precepts on this, on integrity, right? Job chapter 27. So when you come into this knowledge of Yahweh Bashmi Shai, like brothers always say, it's not just, okay, well, I don't eat pork anymore. Okay, I finally put down a crab. Okay, I finally grew my beard out. Those things are beautiful, right? And they should be done. You should conform yourself and repent and conform yourself to the laws and the statutes and the commandments, right? Of Yahweh Bashmi Shai. You should dive into the Torah and the other books and understand how to uphold your end. It's like you're up the covenant, if you will. But it's also to understand how to move as an Israelite concerning virtue and honor, right? Now, this is Job chapter 27 and verse 5. I'm going to start at 3. It reads, I'm going to actually start at 1. Moreover, Job continued this parable and said, as the Most High liveth, who hath taken away my judgment, and the Almighty who hath vexed my soul, all while my breath is in me, and the spirit of the Most High is in my nostrils. My lips shall not speak wickedness, nor my tongue utter deceit. God forbid that I should justify you. Till I die, I will not remove mine integrity from me. My righteousness I hold fast and will not let it go. My heart shall not reproach me so long as I live. And that's the spirit that you want to have, man. And this has nothing to do with men being around or your women being around or your children being around or brothers in the camp being around. This is between you and your fear of Yahweh Bashmi Shai, right? This is a conscious decision that you make. Rather you're deserted somewhere or rather you're around 1,000 people, you have to have a spirit of integrity, right? And honor amongst yourself and your so-called relationship with Yahweh Bashmi Shai. And understand that the fear of the Most High takes precedent over all things. And a man with integrity, and they tell you the definition in the world is how you conduct yourself when nobody's watching. That's what they say in the world, which is not a bad definition, right? Because a lot of brothers may do things behind closed doors that they wouldn't do in front of brothers. A lot of brothers may say things behind closed doors or conduct themselves in a manner that they may not do in front of brothers or the leadership of their congregation or their peers or prospects or their wives or whatever the case may be. So brothers have to have a spirit of integrity, even when you by yourself, when you're going through temptation, when you're not going through temptation, you're fully persuaded in your mind that nobody's going to or nothing can sway you from upholding the will of Yahweh Shema Shah. Right? And that's what Job was about. Job said, I will not remove my integrity from me. Right? Let's go into this word, my integrity. And that's an attribute that is lacking in a so-called Black, Hispanic, and Native American community, man. Nope. And they just go straight into integrity, right? But there's a little more innocence, integrity, right? And innocence is a good synonym, man, right? You want to maintain your innocency. You want to be without fault. You want to be without blemish. You want to be blameless in the eyes of Yahweh Shema Shah. Again, we got about 8 weeks approaching Passover. And even if we didn't have about 8 weeks approaching Passover, you should still maintain your integrity as a man. And these are the time where demons are going to be sent at you, man. Demons at your job, demons in your household, physical health might be affected, finances might not be where you want them to be, stress may be at an all-time high, unforeseen circumstance and time and chance is going to befall you, and you have to maintain your innocence, man, and abstain from all appearance of evil. You know, this is the time that we in, man. Let me go to 2nd Ezra chapter 16 real quick. See, this is the time where men are falling away. There's a great falling away actually going on right in front of your eyes, right? And if you don't fear the Most High, and if you don't have if you're not a man of integrity, you're going to get exposed, and your wickedness is going to be brought before the congregation and before the Most High, and all things that you thought that nobody knew about are going to be revealed, right? So this is 2nd Ezra chapter 16 and 62. Yea, in the spirit of Almighty God, which made all things and searcheth out all hidden things in the secrets of the earth. So the spirit is going to search out all things. The Lord tell you, believe in the book of Zephaniah, the Most High is going to search Jerusalem with candles. You know, he's going to make a diligent search and search out all of the sins on the earth. A man of integrity is a man that can be confident. Now, we know we in the flesh and we all go off, but you're going to be confident in your conscience, knowing that you was a man of integrity, and you're going to recall the times where you fought through that temptation. That's what a man of integrity can do. He can look at all of the times when temptation came his way, when sin was presented in front of him, and he denied it, and he was abstinent. He abstained from that and kept his purity and chastity, and his conscience reminds him of that. Right? And that's a beautiful spirit to have in these days, man. It feels good when you deny wickedness. It's a beautiful feeling when you deny sin. It's a beautiful feeling when temptation goes your way and you overcome that. That's why Yahweh Shema Shah said, blessed is the man that endureth temptation. You know, in James 1 and 12 on down. For when he is tried, he shall receive the crown of life, which the Most High promised to them that love him. So you're going to go through this trial and this fire, but a man of integrity, he's going to endure that fire and deny the temptation. Right? Let me read this again. 2nd Ezra chapter 16 and 62. Yea, in the spirit of Almighty God, which made all things, and searcheth out all hidden things in the secrets of the earth. Yeah, the stuff on your phone you think you're getting away with, secret sites and lust and conversations and murmuring and whispering and backbiting, confusion and doctrine and all types of wickedness, man. The Most High, he's searching that out. Surely he knoweth your inventions and what you think in your hearts, even them that sin and would hide their sin. Therefore hath Yahweh Bashmi Abashai exactly searched out all your works, and he will put you all to shame. And this is not an if. The Most High might, he could do it. No, he's going to search out all of our works, man. Isn't that Ecclesiastes chapter 12, 13 on down? Let us hear the conclusion of the whole matter. Fear the Most High and keep his commandments, for this is the whole duty of man. For the Most High shall bring every work into judgment with every secret thing, whether it be good or whether it be evil. Paraphrasing. That's what the Most High said. Every secret thing, whether it's good or evil. Be a man of honor in the last days, man. Be a man of integrity. Be a man that doesn't fear man, but you fear the Most High. You're going to stand up for virtuousness and righteousness and godliness, man. No matter who's around or what circumstance you befall yourself, whether you have little or whether you have much. Verse number 65. And when your sins are brought forth, ye shall be Slakia, ye shall be ashamed before men, and your own sins shall be your accusers in that day. What will ye do? Or how would you hide your sins before God and his angels? You see that? What are you going to do, man? What are you going to do? You think you can get away? Read Ezekiel the eighth chapter, man. Right? And the Lord showed Ezekiel all of the sins that Israel was doing in the dark. You had the men with the censer, and they were worshiping all of the creeping things portrayed upon the wall. You had women weeping for Talmuds. You had ancient men facing the east, man, and bowing down to the sun. You had all manner of confusion going on. The Most High sees that, man. Let's go to Job chapter 22. These are the days where there ain't no time to be playing around, man. Leave off from that iniquity, that sin. That's why it's important to examine yourself, man. It's important to examine yourself and consider. The Most High speaks heavily about considering your ways, right? Job chapter 22 and verse number 12. It's not the Most High in the height of heaven, and behold the height of the stars, how high they are. And this is how certain men think. They think the Most High is too preoccupied in the third heaven to be worried about you on the earth. Like I tell you in Sirach, it tells you, oh, the Most High won't remember me amongst so many creatures. The Lord got his magnifying glass on every single one of us every day, man. And the Most High is going to try you every day. He's going to try you in your actions. He's going to try your patience. He's going to try your temperance. He's going to try your self-control. He's going to try you by people that are close to you, people that are far off from you, man. Your children, spirits can hop on your women. Everybody getting tried every day. And those who fail the test and don't receive the mercy of the Most High wipes his hands with them, huh? Because the Lord right now, what he's doing is he's trimming the fat. He's making the cuts to the team. A lot of people try out for the football team. A lot of people try out for the basketball team. You know, people, they show up, they want to get involved. They want to be part of this legacy, this championship. They want to be part of something great, man. And they put their mind and their body and soul into tryouts, two-a-days, drills, watching film, etc., man. But everybody don't make the team. Eventually, the coach, he got to make a decision, man. You know, he got to make a decision. The team can only hold X amount of players, man. And he has to decide. And you could be a standout all-star, man, kind of guy. You know, I don't know how many players are on a basketball team. Let's say you got 15 players, right? The coach is looking for them, huh? Right? And if you're the 16th guy, you could be good. But if you're not like that 15th guy to the first guy, you're not going to make it. And it could be that one thing that the coach looked at and said, you know what? He had to make a decision. Not this guy right here. Maybe it was that one practice you missed, man. Maybe you was great at everything, but you missed one practice. Maybe you made practice, but you was late 2 minutes. And the other guy, he was late 1 minute. You know, maybe you missed that one free throw. Maybe you was failing your classes, man. And there's these coaches, they look at that stuff, man. There's a thing, not to Terry on this point, but there's a thing called intangibles in sports. There are things that is about the character of that individual, man, that they look at. They don't just look at your physical performance. They look at your character. They look at what kind of person you are. You're going to be a right fit for this team. All those successful teams with banners all in the stadium, these general managers, they create a team based off of personalities and based off of character. And when that's coupled with skill, you get what you get, man. So the Most High, the point is, the Most High, he's doing the same thing on a high macro level. He's looking at everybody who knows that they're Israelites, man. Everybody that has a Bible, everybody that has an Apocrypha, and he's beginning He's beginning to cut the fat. You know, he's trimming the fat, and eventually, the whoever makes the team, they're going to be named in that day. This is tryout season, and if you have step and you lukewarm, you're not going to make the team. So the Most High is letting you know in Job 22 about how certain men feel about the Heavenly Father and their sins. They think the Most High is too busy up there in the third heaven to be focused about them smoking weed, watching pornography, breaking the Sabbath day, not reading. You think the Most High don't see you, man? Right? Let's read on. It's like Job 22 and 13. And thou sayest, how doth God know? And can he judge through the dark cloud? And that's a foolish statement. How does the Most High know that I'm really freaking off? Can he see me? Look at all them thunder clouds. He can't see through those clouds. I can't see through them. I know he can't see through them. That's foolish. That's a foolish assessment, man. Right? It reads, thick clouds are a covering to him that he seeth not, and he walketh in a circuit of heaven. So this is the foolish mentality of men. They think the Most High just walks into heaven all day. He doesn't worry about what you do on the earth. Hast thou marked the old way which wicked men have trodden? Now the Most High checking. You said, that's how you think, but you didn't know what I did to men in the days of Noah. You didn't study what they did, man. They thought they was getting away with it. It reads, which were cut down out of time, whose foundation was overflown with the flood. So if you think the Most High is not watching you, you better remember what the Lord did to those men in the days of Noah. I remember watching it was a horrible movie. I'll just say that, man. The Noah movie with Russell Crowe, and they had the trees, semi-angels, all of that. Hey, but there was a point in that movie. I don't know, brothers, you saw that movie. But there was a point in that movie. It's lucky, yeah. Let me see the brother backstage. Okay, now come. There was a point in the movie where I think it was one of the sons of Cain. I don't know if it was Tubal Cain or one of the sons of Cain. He said he stole something, I think, from Noah or Lamech or Methuselah. And in the movie, he said the Most High had forsaken the earth. One of the sons of God said, man, the Most High sees you. He said, the Most High, he said, look how we living, because it was a famine in the land. The Lord cursed the earth. He said, the Most High is not seeing us, man. He has forsaken us. That's in Ezekiel, the 8th chapter. The Lord always has his magnifying glass on us, man. How much more approaching Passover? How much more approaching the end of the world, right? Brothers have to be on your P's and Q's, man. You got to stay armored up with the armor of the Most High. Because every day could be your last day in this truth. Every day could be your last day. This is Hebrews chapter 4 and verse number 13. Neither is there any creature that is not manifest in his sight, but all things are naked and open unto the eyes of him with whom we have to do. Right? So everybody's revealed before the Most High. Be a man of integrity, man. Be a man of honor. Right? Be a man of virtue. Be a man of godliness, man. You have these beautiful, righteous examples that the Most High gave us. There are men that went through temptation and they didn't go off, man. Look at Joseph. When he was tempted, when he was tried. And Joseph told that demon Hamite, that African, he said, how can I do this great wickedness and sin against God? Let me get that in Genesis chapter 39. Right? And it's beautiful that Joseph, the Most High had Joseph say it like that, because a lot of brothers, when they commit a sin or they transgress, they don't think it's that big of a deal. Right? Oh, I'll just repent, or, it's nothing wrong with repenting, but you don't really examine the severity of your sin. You might even sin against your brother. Right? Oh, it's just a brother. He'll forgive me. No, this adultery and sins, they're against the Most High. Right? I'm gonna just get straight to the point. This is now, when you read this account, for brothers that haven't read it, you read about Satan. Really, it was Satan. A lot of people say it was his Pharaoh's wife. That's on a carnal level. It was really Satan that tempted Joseph. But Satan was working, like he always does, through the woman, And Satan, he was working through Pharaoh's wife to get Joseph to commit adultery. Now, this is Genesis. I mean, this thing is good. This is Genesis chapter 39. Joseph is a man of integrity. Be a man of virtue and integrity that can stand up for godliness and truth. Be like Abraham. Be like Isaac. Be like Jacob. Be like Joseph, man. Right? Be like Noah, man. Be like Elijah. That's why we have the Bible, man. We don't have the Bible to just cut up Edomites on the highways and byways. We don't have the scriptures to just dismantle John 3:16. We don't have the scriptures for vanity, man. We have these things that we can apply them, you know? So let me read this real quick because I do want to get into some or we would like to get into some questions, most high willing. Right? Genesis chapter 39:6. And he left all that he had in Joseph's hand, and he knew not aught he had save the bread which he did eat. And Joseph was a goodly person and well favored. So Pharaoh left all to Joseph, and Joseph was a handsome brother. Verse number 7. And it came to pass after these things that his master's wife cast her eyes upon Joseph, and she said, lie with me. But he refused. And this is what happened during slavery, right? This is how you know that this is Egypt all over again. But he refused and said unto his master's wife, behold, my master wotteth not what is with me in the house, and he hath committed all that he hath into my hand. There is none greater in his house than I. Neither hath he kept back anything from me but thee, because thou art his wife. How then can I do this great wickedness and sin against God? He said, this is against the Most High. I guarantee you might have had a brother that said, well, look, she a heathen. I'm going to deal with it anyway, man. The Lord hate the Africans. He hate the Hamites. I'm going to deal with his women. You can't even if a heathen woman is married, it would still be adultery if you lay down with her if her husband is alive. Right? That law is for all. Right? That's not just for the nation of Israel. That's what the law tell you her husband got to be dead. And if the woman actually laid down with that man, the Most High could have gave you the option to cut her down, and you could deal with the woman that never laid down with man. But if you made that decision to say, you know what, I'm gonna deal with this woman, even though she had a man in war, and you have to kill her husband in a war. So Joseph, the point is, Joseph, he said, look, I can't sin against the Most High. And that's what you have to that's what you have to ask yourself. Every time when temptation comes your way, you're sinning against the Most High. It's not just you sinned against that brother, or you sinned against your wife, or you sinned against your children, or you sinned against the congregation, or you sinned against the nation. You sinned against the Most High. Right? And that's what that's the level that Joseph was on. He wasn't thinking about flesh and blood. And he was a man of integrity, man. He said, man, Pharaoh gave me all this, man. I'm about to lose this for you, man. He trusts me. He has committed this into my hand. That's why being a steward, when you read 1 Corinthians, the 4th chapter, you got to be a faithful steward. You got to be a faithful steward. And this is Joseph at what you call work, man. He's at work. He had integrity at work. A lot of you brothers don't even have integrity at the so-called workplace, man. You're freaking off. You're lying. You're creeping off, man. You're doing God knows what. You're about to get fired. You're on your last write-up. You can't keep a job. You're always late. Ask where you was at. I don't know. I don't need this job anyway. You walk out the door. You're not a man of honor, man. Joseph, he said, how then can I do this great wickedness and sin against the Most High? Right? So that's the mentality and the attitude you want to have. When sin is presented your way in these last days, that's what you ask yourself. How then can I do this great wickedness and sin against the Most High? Let's read 2 more. And it came to pass, or 1 more, as she spake to Joseph day by day, that he hearkened not unto her to lie with her or to be with her. And you can read the rest of this on your own, right? The rest of this account on your own. But the point is, be a man of virtue, right? Be a godly man. Let's go to Genesis real quick. Let's go to Genesis chapter 31. I believe this is what I want. Right? This is Genesis chapter 31 and verse number, this whole thing is good. Right? This is Genesis chapter 31 and verse number 36. Now, this is Jacob and Laban. Now, when Jacob was out in the field and he was working for Rachel, remember, he was finessed. He was finessed, and then Laban gave him Leah. Then he had to work 7 more years for Rachel. Then he had to work more years. And Jacob was getting oppressed. He was getting finessed. He was getting robbed, manipulated, beguiled. But Jacob was a man of integrity, man. He could have rose up and slew Laban, man. Right? He could have destroyed his field, his cattle. Jacob could have did a lot, man. But he was a man of integrity. And he trusted in the Most High, and he endured hardness as a good soldier. And even when he didn't have things, he didn't sin. See, sometimes the Most High take a lot away from a brother, and a brother, he start thinking how, what he could do to come up. Rather, it's wickedness or righteousness. A lot of brothers doubt when the Most High take things away from them, huh? Maybe the Most High, I'm not a man of the Lord. Maybe the Lord, what did I do? And Joe, maybe this isn't the truth. The Most High, he took my car away from me. He took my job away from me. Right? The Most High, he took my money away from me. Maybe I'm not an Israelite. Maybe I shouldn't do this. That wasn't the attitude of Jacob, man. Jacob, men of integrity, even when things are taken away from them, they could tap deep within and maintain their honor, right? And endure hardness, man. As a good soldier of Yahweh Shai. So righteous soldiers have integrity. Right? Let me actually just get that quick definition real quick. Right? Integrity. That is the word of the Monday Night Five before we get into this Q&A. Integrity is the quality of being honest, fair, and reliable. It can also refer to being free from damage or a defect, right? So that this is a spirit you want to have, man. You want to be an honest brother. Not telling what Jake called it a white lie. Well, people call it a white lie, or you kind of told half of the truth. You got to tell the whole truth all the time. Right? You got to be just in your judgment and be fair. Right? You have to have a fair judgment on matters. And you got to be reliable. A man of integrity is a brother that's reliable. Right? And that brother, he's pretty much faultless, man. For the most part, he's pretty much faultless. Right here, synonyms for integrity: honesty, honor, and probity. A brother of integrity is a brother he's a man of his word. The brother said he's going to pay you back. The brother, he paid you back. Not the brother who said, oh, he didn't mention it. He ain't say nothing. I guess I don't got to pay him back. Right? The brother done loaned you $200. You just waiting for him to say something. I ain't going to say nothing until he say something. You saluting the brother, you smiling, you laughing in the brother's face. And in your mind, you owe this brother $300. Maybe the brother forgot, maybe he got a lot going on. And he's supposed to say something. Hey, look, brother, you know what? I owe you $200. I remember you gave me that money. I don't have it right now. And you might not even have it right now, man. And look, I don't have it right now, but look, is it something that we can work out? I don't want you to think that I'm doing X, Y, and Z and whatever the case may be. Or look, all I got is $150 right now. I get paid on the 15th. I give you the other $150 later. Is that cool? Be a man of honor, man. Brother, give you some. Hey, pay the brother back, man. You said you was going to do something, do it, man. Don't wait for a brother to mention the things that you owe and your shortcomings, man. Stop being niggas in Israel, man. Stop being black men and Hispanics and Native Americans and be a man of virtue. Be a man of honesty, man. Right? This is the spirit that Job, Jacob, Joseph, and the men of the Lord had, man. Now let me read on real quick. This Genesis chapter 31 to 36. And Jacob was wroth and chode with Laban. And Jacob answered and said to Laban, what is my trespass? And what is my sin that thou hast so hotly pursued after me? That's a bold statement to make. Right? What's my sin? Right? What did I do wrong? A lot of brothers can't say that. You can't look a lot of brothers in the eye and say, tell me the time I offended you, man. Tell me one time that I offended you, one time I trespassed against you. A lot of brothers can't say that, man. That's a bold statement. Now, when you read the book of, I'm gonna have to get this account. In 1 Samuel, Samuel said the same thing to Israel. He said, whose ox did I steal? What bribe did I take? Let me get that account real quick, because that's the same spirit. Right? Let's get that in 1 Samuel. Amen. Let a brother with no integrity ask brothers that, right? Who did I offend? Every brother raised their hand. And they all get 40 accounts. You owe this brother $200. You ran into this brother car. You didn't say nothing. You got caught looking at his wife and making a move on his wife. You was late to camp all year. You didn't show up. You did this. You don't want to be the brother where you got 40 charges that could just be laid at you. That's not being a man of integrity. Jacob told Laban, show me where I went off against you. Give me the account. That's a bold statement, man. That's a bold statement. Now I want to get this. This is let's see. I want to get this in 1 Samuel. Maybe the 9th chapter. I have to get this. Right? Let's see. Bear with me. I have to get this account. Right? If not, I'll have to find it. Right? I'll have to find it. Concerning Samuel. Right? Concerning Samuel. You want to be a man of virtue, right? A man of honor, a man of integrity. Right? 1 Samuel 12. Salakia, that's what I want. Right? So I want 1 Samuel the 12th chapter. A lot of brothers can't even admit when they wrong, man. Right? You just got this spirit on you, man. Right? Salakia. Brother Amos trying to get in here. Satan hindering the work. Salakia, bear with me. Try to help the brother get in here. Okay, got another brother back here. Right? Salakia, try and get these brothers back here. Right? Bear with me. Right? The Lord said 2 are better than 1. Now, right, you said you backstage. I don't see you. I don't see you on here. You might have to try again. Leave and try again. Right? Nevertheless, let me get this account in 1 Samuel the 12th chapter. Right? Okay, hold on. All right. Shalom, King.
Shalom, King.
All praise to the Most High. All right. Let me get this in 1 Samuel chapter 12 real quick. Right? This 1 Samuel chapter 12 and 1. And Samuel said unto all Israel, behold, I have hearkened unto your voice and all that ye said unto me, and have made a king over you. And now, behold, the king walketh before you, and I am old and gray-headed. And behold, my sons are with you, and I have walked before you from my childhood unto this day. Behold, here I am, witness against me before Yahweh, and before his anointed. Whose ox have I taken? Or whose ass have I taken? Or whom have I defrauded? Whom have I oppressed? Or of whose hand have I received any bribe to blind my eyes therewith? And I will restore you. And they said, thou hast not defrauded us, nor oppressed us, neither hast thou taken aught of any man's hand. And again, this is a heavy charge right there, man. Shalom, King.
Shalom, Kings.
This is another heavy statement of a man of integrity. He said, witness against me before Yahweh. Right? And Jake, they like to swear falsely, man. They say, man, I swear on my dead mother's grave, I ain't take your money. You know? Especially you Negroes in Chicago, man. You always put oaths on people's grave, on your dead children, you know, on all this wickedness, man. And then you lying all the time. I swear I ain't do it, man. I swear I ain't had your woman. I don't got your woman number on my phone. I put that on my children. You put all these oaths in you, and you have no integrity because half the time you're lying. You just put that swear out there to make a brother seem like, oh wow, he's serious. He didn't do it. Samuel was dead serious, man. He said, "Behold, here I am, witness against me before the Lord." Right? This is how you know that Samuel and his conscience, he knew his life was full of integrity and honor. Right? And he had confidence in the Most High about the works that he did. Although we all in the flesh, you want to have a confidence in your conscience, knowing that you were sincere in his truth. You know, even though you may have sinned, you may have fallen short in your conscience, you know that your intentions were pure, right? Because you could fall off, but if your intentions are wicked, you're going to stay on the ground, and the Most High is going to heap sin upon sin to you. And he said, whose ox have I taken? Whose ass have I taken? Or whom have I defrauded? Whom have I oppressed? Or of whose hand have I received any bribe to blind my eyes to wit? And I will restore you. He didn't say this before one man. He said this before God knows how many Israelites. Had to have been hundreds of thousands of them. He's probably standing up. And if you could say this before hundreds and thousands of people and nobody could say nothing ill against you, you know that you move with integrity. Right? You got a tough chance saying that before one brother who's going to find fault and bring something to your remembrance that you did. Let alone 2, let alone 3, 4, and 5. You're going to have a difficult time with 5. Do it before hundreds and thousands of Israelites, man. That's the spirit that we're striving for. The spirit of sincerity and integrity that Jacob had, Joseph had, Samuel had, man. But brothers got it.
God. Shalom, Kings.
Shalom.
Can brothers hear me? Can brothers hear me smooth?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm on this phone, man. Satan trying to work. But let's go to Psalms chapter 119, and we're going to start at 1. Right? Integrity is key in his last days. Right? You can talk a good game. Right? We're only ashes and dust. We're but men. You can fool us. Right? But you can't fool the creator of heaven and earth. He knows your intent. Right? That's Hebrews 4 and 12. Right? Can we get that real quick and then come back to Psalms 119?
Okay.
Right, Hebrews 4 and 12. So like I'm gonna open it up too.
Okay. You want me to read it?
Yeah, Baba Gashar.
Okay. Hebrews 4 and 12. It reads, "For the word of God." You have to mute your background.
Oh.
Okay. "For the word of God is quick and powerful and sharper than any two-edged sword, piercing even to the dividing asunder of soul and spirit, and of the joints and marrow, and is a discerner of the thoughts and intents of the heart."
Right. So these scriptures, they cut you up and it shows your true intention in this truth. It shows your true intention as a man or as a woman of Yahbashim Yahshua. Right? You're gonna get cut up with the scriptures and your true being is gonna be showed. When I say your true being, your heart, your mind, how you move when nobody's around, how you move when people are around. Right? Because the most righteous people, when everybody's around, are the most wicked when nobody's around. Right? You got to be mindful of how people move. And this is a exhortation and an examination of all Israel to look deep down inside yourself and see exactly where your shortcomings are. When nobody's looking, are you doing what you shouldn't be doing? When nobody's around, are you still in that gum that's at the register and nobody's looking? Right? Because Jake be like, I'm not paying $1.99 for gum.
Right.
Right? But now you a thief. Right? Let's go back to Psalms 119 in verse number 1. So integrity, like the brother said, that's the key word for this Monday Night Fire. Integrity, integrity, integrity. Right? It says, blessed are the undefiled in the way. So blessed are those who are undefiled in the way of the Lord. Right? And how are you undefiled? Because you're walking in all the ordinance and the statutes that the Lord gave to us. Right? You're moving in the way that our righteous forefathers moved. And it says, whose walk in the law of the Lord. Blessed are they that kept his testimonies and that seek him with their whole heart. So when you're seeking the Lord with your whole heart, You're not going to do things that are inconvenient, right? You're not going to do things that are going to cause you to get cast into the lake of fire. You're not going to do things to tarnish your name, tarnish the name of Yahweh Bashem Yahushai, tarnish the name of Israel, or whatever respective camp that you're in. Right? You're going to walk after the way of the Lord's heart as David did. And it says, they also do no iniquity, they walk in his ways. Right? So no iniquity should be found on you. Right? Chiefly when nobody's around. Chiefly when you don't think that eyes are glued in on you. Right? Because everybody, if we had cameras around us 24/7, we'd be squeaky clean. There would be no error or fault in us. But the Lord said, they also do no iniquity, they walk in his ways. And that's truly the only way to have integrity is walking in the ways of the Lord. Right? Getting cut up by the words of the Lord. You should be cut up when you watch these videos. Right? We get cut up when we do these videos. When we do the Sabbath service, when we out at camp. That's how you truly test your integrity. That's how you truly test your spirit to see if you're moving in that spirit. What you got, King?
Come. And I want to bring out Sirach chapter 42 in verse number 18. And this is a beautiful topic through the spirit, man. Not a lot of brothers have integrity. Like brothers always say, and brothers always going to, brothers can't be just mighty at camp, and then throughout the week they're battling and getting overtaken and overcome by spirits, and they're being another person, man. You can't have your mitri on your fringes and be righteous right in front of brothers, but as soon as brothers are not around, you turn right back into that old man. Because the Most High seeth all things, right? This is the book of Sirach, chapter 42 and verse 18. He seeketh out the deep things of the heart. Who is that? The Most High. Meaning the Most High is not just listening to your conversation at work, man. No, he's going to go deeper than that. He's going to ponder your thoughts, your reins, your actions, things you're thinking about that you haven't even done yet, man. Adultery comes within. Murder comes within. Stealing comes within before you even do it. See, the Lord's seeking out and digging deep. Like Amos brought out in the book of Hebrews, the 4th chapter, the inward thoughts and intents of man. It says, he seeketh out the deep and the heart, and considereth their crafty devices. Meaning you can't overtake or fool the Most High. For the Lord knoweth all that may be known. See, this isn't the wisest man in the world, right? Or some type of a math book or some type of equation, man. The Most High knows everything. There's nothing you can hide from the Most High. The Most High is going to know your dream you may have tonight before you even have it, man. There's nothing you can hide. So for you to not have integrity, it's like you're trying to pull one over on the Most High, right? The angels are recording everything. Everything's already recorded and sealed up. Said the Lord knoweth all that may be known, and he beholdeth the signs of the world, right? Meaning he weighs everything in the balance, the volcanoes, the earthquakes. He beholds all of the signs of the world. It says he declareth the things that are past and for to come, right? And revealeth the steps of hidden things, right? And that's spiritual and it's physical, man. See, brothers are on their way to do God knows what. And those steps are hidden by man in a dark alley, in a basement, in a club, right? You sitting up there, you dialing on a number on block, you talking to some brother's wife, right? You smoking, right? You drinking excessively, you fighting, you envying, right? The Lord is going to reveal all of the hidden steps of man. So you have to fear the Most High in these last days to be able to have a strong spirit of integrity. Brothers, guys.
And this is a beautiful precept right here, man, because it goes deep. You read 19, right?
Con.
Yeah. It says things that are past and for to come, like the brother went into, man. Let's go to I want to get a quick precept in Ecclesiasticus, the 14th chapter. Right? Just want to get Ecclesiasticus chapter 14 and verse number 1. I'll read 1 and 2. It reads, blessed is the man that hath not slipped with his mouth and is not pricked with the multitude of his sins. Right? Meaning the brother that has integrity, he's blessed because he may not be caught up in a slander, tale bearing, gossip, his name come out, you know, he was murmuring behind the scenes, and it was brought to light that this brother was bearing false witness, causing confusion, and right, you don't want to be that brother, right? And it says, and it's not pricked with the multitude of sins. You want to be able to, for lack of better terms, when you lay your head down and it's time for you to sleep or whatever, you go to sleep with a good conscience, knowing that you haven't defrauded a brother, you haven't sat there, you was lusting after his wife, you know, you haven't sat there and robbed the treasury, you didn't sit there and try to get one over on the brother. You don't want to lay your head down and you have all of these convictions in your mind, and you're just replaying all of the guilt that you did and the dirt you did throughout the day. And you can't even get a good night rest, man, because you're pricked with all these sins, right? Your conscience is hurt, right? Let's read on. Blessed, that's why the next verse goes into that. Blessed is he whose conscience hath not condemned him, and who is not fallen from his hope in the Lord. So when you're pricked with the multitude of sins, that means your conscience is condemning you, right? And this truth speaks heavily about your conscience. Your conscience is not something that you could see on an x-ray. It's not something where Esau put you in that apparatus and slide you up and get your CAT scan and MRI done. Your conscience is the in-depth spirit of your mind, right? And everybody has a conscience, their inner mind. People call it your gut, your first mind. Everybody has a conscience. And if your conscience is always condemning you about things that you did that was off and how you mistreated someone, your children, your wife, and whatever, then that's not a good feeling. That's not a good feeling, right? You want to be the brother whose conscience hasn't condemned him, huh? Knowing that when you was put into a situation, you made the right decision. And the decision you made didn't hurt your brother, your woman, your children, the congregation, and you found yourself blameless in the eyes of the Most High. Like I used the example with Joseph, I'm pretty sure Joseph's heart, like I brought up earlier, it feels good to do the right thing. It feels good to make that right decision, knowing that the wrong decision was presented to you and you denied it. So when Joseph denied Pharaoh's wife, his conscience didn't condemn him, huh? You know, he trusted in the Most High. And he probably felt good, like, man, yeah, I'm in prison. Because remember, he went to prison. They sent him to prison, you know. But in his mind, he knew that he did the right thing. And that's all that matters. Did you serve the Most High when it's all said and done? You didn't put on a show before man. You didn't put a show on before your family. You didn't try to be proud and get up the upper hand. Your conscience, you're going to have to answer to that, man. You know, because again, a brother could guilt. You could feel guilty, not to be long-winded. You could feel guilty and it could root you out the truth, man. Ah, but I'm so wicked. What did Judas do, man? Judas ended up killing himself, right? He strangled himself and all his guts gushed out, man, right? In the field, right? So you don't want to get on that level when you committed this great wickedness, man, and now you can't function. And it says, in whose hope is not false, and who is not fallen from his hope in the Lord. But I wanted to get another one real quick in 2 Samuel, right? 2 Samuel, real quick, chapter 24. And I believe I want verse number, Salaki, bear with me. I mean, 1 Samuel, right? I may have brothers may get it, but I want to get this real quick in 1 Samuel. Yeah, I want this real quick, 24, right? Bear with me. Quick precept. Right, this 1 Samuel chapter 24 and verse number 4. I'll read 4. And the men of David said unto him, behold, the day of which the Lord said unto thee, behold, I will deliver thine enemy into thine hand, that thou mayest do to him as it seemed good unto thee. Then David arose and cut off the skirt of Saul's robe privately. And it came to pass afterward that David's heart smote him, because he had cut off Saul's skirt. And your heart smiting you, that's not a good thing. It couldn't be good if it drives you to repentance. But at the end of the day, David knew deep down inside that this act shouldn't have been done. He got that spirit that was on his men kind of got to him, right? So having a man with integrity, his heart is going to smite him when he does something wrong. And he's going to repent. He's going to make those wrongs right. He's going to reach out to that brother. Hey, look, man. I shouldn't have did that to you today. I shouldn't have, said that to you. Look, I apologize, because his heart smites him. And he may have mistreated his woman. hey, look, you know what? I shouldn't have said that. I shouldn't have did that. Whatever got the best of me. Look, let's make these wrongs right. Whatever the brother would like to say, right? So you want to be a man of integrity where your heart and your conscience doesn't condemn you. But brothers got it.
Come. Let's go to Sirach, chapter 12 and verse number 3. Right? And your conscience condemning you will also make sure that you're mindful of the evil that comes after the things that you tend to do. Right? For every action, it's an equal opposite reaction. Right? They taught us that in school. Right? You add this concoction and that concoction. Damn, it created a little lava when you was at them science tables. It's the same thing with this truth. Right? This is Sirach chapter 12 and verse number 3. There can no good come to him that is always occupied in evil, nor to him that giveth no alms. So, like the brother was saying, people are always wondering why things are happening to them, why they can't never come up. It's because they never put forth their heart or their hand to do things that are good. They never do things that are profitable to the ministry. They never do things that are profitable to the people who they may labor with or the people who they call family. In this truth, no good thing can come. That goes with more understanding, more faith, right? The Lord being more merciful towards you. That won't happen to anybody who's always surrounded and constantly amongst evil, right? And you see those people. Woe is me. They bring down their countenance. They got their head down. It's because they're not doing what they should be doing behind closed doors, right? You'll have a good conscience, and your mind does not be seared with a hot iron, but you'll be walking around in the fruits of the Spirit in hope, knowing that the Lord is a good rewarder to those who diligently seek Him. Right? Let's go to First Thessalonians chapter 2, and we can start at verse number 3. Right? And we got the disciples and apostles who showed us how we should move. That we shouldn't do things in vain glory or do things to seek notoriety of men. Right? This is First Thessalonians chapter 2 and verse number 3. For our exhortation was not of deceit, nor of uncleanliness, nor of guile, but as we were allowed of God to put in trust with the gospel, even so we speak. And people tend to forget that the Most High allowed men to be entrusted with the gospel, to preach the gospel to the four corners of the earth. We have to be mindful of the things that we speak, right? We can't be speaking and saying vile things, handling the words of Yahweh Shem Yahushua. That should condemn brothers, saying all manner of wickedness, right? Brothers can attest. We done heard some wild stuff from brothers at camp sometimes, right? And that should condemn you, right? You got all this guile in your mouth. It was one time, it was a brother in the camp. I'm not gonna call it camp out. Dude said he hate his dad and he would want to kill his dad.
Yeah.
Like, what is that profitable? How is that profitable to the sheep of Yahweh Shem Yahushua? What does that cause to gain? So he said, as we were put in trust with the gospel, even so we speak not as pleasing men, but Yahweh, which trieth our hearts. For neither at any time use we flattering words, as ye know, nor a cloak of covetousness, God is witness. Nor of any men sought we glory, neither of you, nor yet of others, when we might have been burdensome as the apostles of Yahweh. Right? So they didn't do these things to seek pleasures of men, seek gain from men. They did this to receive salvation. They did this to make sure that their path is set on that straight and narrow path that the Lord told us to go through. So if your mind is constantly indulged in wickedness or ways of this world, your conscience is going to start to condemn you. You're going to start questioning your faith. You're going to start questioning the doctrine that you learned. And just like that, somebody is swoop and steal your crown. So integrity, it shows on the outside too. It shows. And I told brothers, not to be long-winded, when a brother starts to lose understanding or a sister starts to lose understanding, they lose that glow. They start to look dull. They look ashy. They look real ashy. Not on a physical level, but spiritually, you can see it. Like when Moses came down from the mount, they had to put on veils and cover their eyes because he was glowing so much. That's what happens when you're constantly around things you ought not to be around. But you got it, King.
Con. That's right. Let's go to the book of Genesis, right? Chapter 31 and verse number 36. The mighty book of Genesis. And like the brother said, you could tell through discernment, who's waxing weak, man. They tend not to hold long conversations. They blunt with their speech. They look condemned. They always looking down. They can't look you in the eyes. They not in the spirit. They don't want to read. They don't want to come around. Right? It's the book of Genesis, chapter 31 and 36. And Jacob was wroth and chid with Laban. And Jacob answered and said to Laban, what is my trespass? And what is my sin that thou hast hotly pursued after me? Right? You can't say that if your hands are full with blood, man. Because the brother will open up a damn ancient scroll on you, man. You did this, you did this, you did this. Let a brother say, why you chiding with me, man? What is my offense? And when brothers got a spirit on you, they just can't wait to uncover some type of dirt on you or some type of block. And that scroll will be long, to the next day. But Jacob, he was blameless through the spirit. It said, whereas thou hast searched all my stuff, and where's thou found of all thy household stuff? Set it here before my brethren and thy brethren, that they may judge betwixt us both. Right? He didn't know the matter, on a deeper level with his wife, but nevertheless, his hands were clean, man. Right? He did no guile. He didn't steal anything. So if you didn't steal, you didn't lie, you didn't persecute, you didn't hate, it's easy to bring forth the same type of spirit our forefathers did. Let's go to the mighty book of Sirach 22 in verse number 19. Sirach chapter 22 in verse 19. It says, he that pricketh the eye will make tears to fall. Right? So if brothers ever accidentally, hit their eye or whatever the case may be, plucked it or, bumped into something, right? It may make your eyes swell up and it may make tears come, right? Because you pricked it. It says, and he that pricketh the heart. That's not literal. I don't mean you get a pitchfork and somebody jab you up, man. When you prick the heart, you get condemned. And your heart get pricked all the time. Heart can be pricked by not reading, you feel bad. A brother may come to camp or come around you and say, man, what you reading? And look you dead in the eyes. And you ain't even reading. You ain't even read today. You ain't even read that week, man. How do you think that brother's gonna feel? He's gonna be pricked. Hey, brother, all praise to the Most High. You do this, you getting this ready for the feast of dedication. I got this, I got that. You get your menorah yet? You ain't even thinking about getting a menorah. Your mind's all over the place. You're not in the spirit. See, small things will prick you. Large things will prick you. And that's a good spirit to be pricked, because once you stop caring, that's your zeal and your love being diminished in the Lord, man. It's a good thing to be pricked in the spirit. Say, he that pricketh the heart maketh it to shew her knowledge. So when you get pricked, right, it shows repentance. It shows love, right? Or it shows embarrassment sometimes, man. Let a brother get pricked in the heart, in the spirit and in the mind, and he gets embarrassed on the matter. Right? That brother won't be wanting to get embarrassed again. He'll feel ashamed, embarrassed, sad. These things are for your welfare sometimes, man, through the spirit. It's not always a bad thing being pricked, right? That's to shew your heart knowledge. Brothers got it.
Con. It's a beautiful thing at times, man. That's why 2 Corinthians, the 7th chapter, it speaks about, godly sorrow that worketh repentance to salvation, not to be repented of. But I believe it says the sorrow of the world, worketh death, or something to that effect. Right. So let me go to the book of Job. Right. Let's go to Job chapter 23. Right. This is Job chapter 23 and verse number 8. It reads, behold, I go forward, but he is not there, and backward, but I cannot perceive him. On the left hand, where he doth work, but I cannot behold him. He hideth himself on the right hand, that I cannot see him. So this is man that cannot understand the movable ways of the Most High, right? You may seek out the Most High, try to understand the works of the Most High. You can't understand in totality Yahweh Shemi Yahushua, right? Rather, you seek him out on the left-hand side, the right-hand side, and you can't see him. The Most High, he dwells in thick darkness, like the scriptures say, man. First Kings, right? The 8th chapter. It reads, but he knoweth the way that I take. When he hath tried me, I shall come forth as gold. And the Lord knows the way that you take, man. Right? And it says, when he hath tried me. So part of integrity is understanding that you're going to be tried. You're going to be put, rather it's 5 minutes from now, or tomorrow, or next week, you're going to be put into a particular situation, a particular circumstance, an environment, right, that you may be familiar with or you're unfamiliar with, and you're going to be tried, man. You're going to be tempted, and you being tempted is the test right there. And the Most High and all of the angels, they're going to be watching to see. Let's see if he has integrity, right? Then the Lord said about Job, he still maintained his integrity, though thou movest me against him to destroy him without cause. In the book of Job, I believe the 2nd chapter. So the Lord tested and tried Job, man. And he said, you moved me against him without cause, right? And he said he still maintained his integrity, man. Let me jump and get that real quick, right? In Job, the 2nd chapter, real quick. This is Job 2 and 3. And Yahweh said unto Satan, hast thou considered my servant Job, that there is none like him in the earth, a perfect and upright man, one that feareth God and escheweth evil. And still he holdeth fast his integrity, although thou movest me against him to destroy him without cause. And this is a mighty, mighty statement. It's one thing for man to praise you and say, hey, that brother was mighty. Hey, that brother, he did that. He overcame. It's another thing where you want this to be spoken about you, right? Right now, you want the Most High to be up there taking up for you, man. It says, I know my servant right here, man. Right? There's nobody like this brother. I put this against him. I took this away from him. I added this away. I sent demons this way. And he still hold fast his integrity, right? And he's a perfect and upright man. You don't want the Most High to look at you and say, he's a thief, man, right? Oh, he's a liar, right? Or he's rebellious. You want the Most High to be looking at you right now. That's his life is going on, and you want the Most High to have good thoughts about you. Say, he fears me, and he escheweth evil, man. He does this to evil. He's cast evil off. He despises evil, right? And even when things are moved against you, Job still says he still holds fast his integrity. And there's not one brother on the earth that went through what Job went through. Right now, you can say, well, you came close, or you didn't come through what Job went through. 7 sons, 3 daughters, gone. Houses, wealth, cattle, oxen, sheep, asses, gone. Land, gone. Loyalty from his woman, trust in his confidant, man, gone. Sent away against him, man. His health got affected, man. His friends are they don't know what's going on. All hell was breaking loose, man. And at this time, the Most High said he still holdeth fast his integrity. That's the spirit you want to have. And that's why Job 23 says, when he hath tried me, I will come forth as gold. And every brother has to understand that, man. When you wake up in the morning or you lay your head down, you have to understand that this day, my integrity is going to be tested. My integrity is going to be put on trial. Am I going to maintain my integrity and hold it fast? Or am I going to just sell out to whatever lust is in my heart? Right? And that's the spirit and the mind you have to have in the last days, man. Right? You have to have a mind like that in the last days, especially during the days of the Most High cutting the fat off, man, and trimming the fat. The difference between you making it and that brother not making, or you not making it rather, but that brother made it because that brother had integrity, brother. Y'all may have had the same level of knowledge, same understanding. Y'all been in the truth the same time, roughly, whatever. But this brother had integrity in situations where you didn't. Therefore, that brother made it and you were cast off. Right? But brothers got it.
Khan, that's right. Let's go to the mighty book of 1 Corinthians, chapter 9. All right. And I'm going to start at 24. Right, and it reads, it says, know ye not that they which run in a race run all, but one receiveth the prize. So run that you may obtain. and every man that striveth for the mastery. See, striving for the mastery is the kingdom of heaven, man. That's the end all be all. You can't truly be striving if you're always falling short, man. Now, brothers fall short, don't get me wrong, but if you're always falling short, you always got any excuses, you always late, you can never seem to do anything righteous you put your hand to, you're always just giving up, you got to really question if you in this race or not, man. You look to your right and to your left, brothers are past you. You know, brothers is striving, right? You know, in a race, sometimes they put their chest out and they damn head up because they trying to excel. You got people in this thing really running, man. They're waking up earlier. They're going to sleep later, right there in the weathers and all type of conditions. It says, in every man that's striving for the mastery is temperate in all things. Now they do it to obtain a corruptible crown. But we an incorruptible, right? People are sweating, working long hours. You know, people actually go to school for 4 to 8 years to become doctors and lawyers, professors and scientists, and all of these things to obtain a corruptible crown of this world. It said, but we are incorruptible. It says, I therefore so run, not as uncertain. And that's a lot of the times brothers got that autopilot demon on, man. See, once you're on autopilot and you just going with the motion, you don't really have that zeal. You don't know why you're showing up. You don't know what's going on. Let me just read my chapters for the day, for the sake of reading it, right? And then it's like you spin the damn globe. I want to go here. Like you just go like, and you just open it up, man. You have no study schedule. You don't know what's going on. You watch whatever video pop up on YouTube, right, by any teacher. You know, some people are doing things uncertainly, man. They're not confident with zeal, with integrity, strength, honor. They have no gold and end. It says, I therefore, so run not as uncertain. So fight I, not as one that beateth the air, right? And you don't want to fight Satan or these demons for the sake of fighting or for the sake of trying to be in this truth, and you're not beating them, right? I mean, like the Spirit said, Paul, I know, Yahweh I know, but who are ye, man? See, I mean, these spirits know you. They know the zeal. They know that fervent heat that's within you, right? They know you was in the palm of the Most High's hand from the very beginning. They know you just came off a fast. They know the spirit you possess deep down within you in the name of authority you speaking in. It says, but I keep under my body and bring it into subjection. Meaning Paul ruled over his vessel. And this vessel could have got angry, could have got upset. Well, there's a lot of things of our vessel that could have us to do whatever we want to do, man. Brothers could want to go to sleep. Brothers could say, you know, forget reading right now. I had a long day at work. Brothers could want to fulfill lust and pleasures and go to the football games and the carnivals, right, on all the parades. You could do whatever you want to do, or you could put your body into subjection. And not just when the eyes of man are watching. See, it's a beautiful thing when nobody's around and you wake up by yourself early to read. You go visit the homeless by yourself with no eyes on you. Nobody has to charge you, tell you, push you, or encourage you to do things that are deep down within you. See, righteousness, like the Lord said, the fruit of righteousness is a tree of life. So the fruit down deep within you, the tree. Yes, that man is the tree. And the things you think about and you manifest have that righteous fruit that yield into a tree of life, immortality. It says, and bring it into subjection, lest that by any means, when I have preached to others, I myself should be a castaway. And that was humble for Paul to say. Because although he had the abundance of revelations, knowledge, he labored more abundantly than them all, he still knew he could be casted away, man. Look how many people got casted away, man, when you read the scriptures. You have many men that were of high stature, right? They were priests, warriors. You got a lot of men that got casted away out the scriptures, man. And the Most High did away with them. And Paul said, look, I need to keep my body under subjection, lest I preach to others and I myself be a castaway. Meaning what? He kept his body in subjection with integrity, lest he be found a hypocrite in the sight of the Most High and get casted out of the congregation. So when you're in this thing, you want to maintain integrity. See, integrity is something I won't say you necessarily can't teach, but it's something that got to be within you, right? You could show a brother how to have integrity, right? You could counsel a brother how to have integrity. You could show him the precepts, but when it's all said and done, it's between you and the Most High and the angels. And whatever you do in a moment of adversity when nobody's around, right, is going to be everything. And one last point, a lot of brothers, maybe that go to camp, or, you know, sisters that be around sisters, you tend to be more mightier when you're around brothers and around sisters. Like the Lord said, two are better than one, right? Where no wood is, the fire go without. So you tend to be more stronger and more mighty around brothers. Not that it's necessarily fake, but it's the heat and the spirit. Like the Lord said, where two or three are gathered together in my name, there am I in the midst thereof. So you get to feel more mightier, you get more precepts, start to get more zealousness when you're around brothers. But sometimes when you leave that, you start to wax cold, man. Right? But you got to keep that fire flame. You got to keep that candle lit. No matter if brothers are around, right? Or brothers on fire, it's a feast day, or what's going on, you got to have deep down within yourself, no matter what's going on, right? You got to fear the Most High, keep these commandments. But you got it, King.
That's right. That's right. Let's go to 2 Samuel. Right. I want to get 2 Samuel, the 3rd chapter, real quick. And there's a lot of accounts. I want to get this account with Joab. Right. Now, there's a lot of things that Joab did, but Joab, he was a mighty man of the Lord in terms of physical strength. You know, he was a cerebral man. He was a general, a tactician, a mighty warrior for the Most High. But it's like if Joab, he didn't have a lot of integrity, man. He didn't have a lot of integrity. There are things that he murdered, man. Right? He was deceitful. There are things that he did that he was presumptuous. But I want to get this account real quick, and I'm gonna get straight to the point. This is the book of 2 Samuel, chapter 3 and 27. And when Abner returned to Hebron, Joab took him aside and the gate to speak with him quietly, and smote him there under the 5th rib, that he died for the blood of Asahel his brother. Right? Because remember, Abner slew Asahel. Asahel, he was light as foot as a roll. You know, Abner said, stop following me, for lack of better terms. He said no, and he got him, right? And then Joab set the situation up where he murdered Abner. And afterward, when David heard it, he said, I and my kingdom are guiltless before Yahweh forever from the blood of Abner, the son of Ner. Right? And it's a beautiful thing when you and your household are guiltless before the Lord, right? And situations where other men may have got caught up, right? Like in the book of Numbers, the 16th chapter. All those men got caught up. The 250 princes, Korah, Dathan, Abiram, On, all those men, they got caught up, man. Right? And they all died. The earth opened up on them, and fire came down on the rest of the men that was even nigh into their tents. The Lord said, get you away from the tents of these wicked men. So even if you was nigh into that spirit, you got slew, man. But Moses and Aaron, those men were guiltless before the Lord. There's a lot of spirits going out in the earth right now. You want to be guiltless, you and your household, before the Lord, man. When spirits get caught up concerning doctrine, spirits get caught up concerning lust, spirits get sent out and caught up on brothers concerning temptation, you want to be able to have the confidence and say, I and my kingdom are guiltless before the Lord. Now, I want to add to that, because eventually everything comes to light, man. Right? I'm gonna get straight to the point. This is the book of 1 Kings, chapter 2 and verse number 5. Now, this is David on his deathbed. All of the stuff that Joab did in his youth and his prime, it caught up with him. It got caught up with him. Right? He slew Amasa and he slew Abner. And he did other things he shouldn't have did, man. Right? But the spirit was working against Joab. Right? Now, this is 1 Kings 2 and 5. This David on his deathbed talking to Solomon. Moreover, thou knowest also what Joab, the son of Zeruiah, did to me, and what he did to the 2 captains of the host of Israel, unto Abner, the son of Ner, and to Amasa, the son of Jether, whom he slew, and shed the blood of war in peace, and put the blood of war upon his girdle that was about his loins, and his shoes that were on his feet. Meaning he acted as if when he killed Amasa and Abner, it was an act of war, but it wasn't an act of war. Right? That's what the Lord calls, you shed the blood of war in peace. So it's eventually murder. You can't say, oh, I murdered this brother, but we was in war. It don't work like that. It's murder. And David knew about that, man. And just because you commit an act in the dark and you got away with it, it doesn't mean the Most High, he's not going to get up with you. That's why it's important to maintain your integrity, because in situations where you think you got away with how you talk to somebody, how you treated someone, how you handled a particular matter in judgment, or how you dealt with the brother, or how you dealt with your family, or how you dealt with the nation, you may think that those things go for naught. But these things are heaped up against you, man. And if the Most High doesn't have mercy on you, he's going to bring these out at his time. That's what the Lord said, because sentence against an evil work is not executed speedily. Therefore, the heart of the sons of men is fully set in them to do evil. Right? Though a sinner do evil 100 times and his days be prolonged, yet surely I know it shall be well with them which fear God, which fear before him, paraphrasing. So he did all this evil and he thought he got away with it, man. Right? Now, let's jump down this to his demise. Right? This First Kings chapter 2 and 32. It reads, and the Lord shall return his blood upon his own head, who fell upon 2 men more righteous and better than he. See that? So you don't even know who you're dealing with, man. A man of integrity, he's not going to look down upon anybody. He's not going to be heady and high-minded, because anybody that he thinks he's dealing with, the Most High can say that they're better than him, huh? And Joab was of better rank. He was of a higher stature, but that doesn't mean any damn thing. See, because the Most High, he looks at the heart anyway, man. And those men that he slew, they were better than Joab. That's what the Lord said, right? And slew them with the sword, my father David, not knowing thereof, to wit, Abner the son of Ner, captain of the host of Israel, and Amasa the son of Jether, captain of the host of Judah. Their blood shall return upon the head of Joab and upon the head of his seed forever. But upon David and his seed, and upon his house, and upon his throne, shall there be peace forever from the Lord. So Benaiah, the son of Jehoiada, went up and fell upon him and slew him. And he was buried in his own house in the wilderness. And it's going to catch up with you, man. Everything that you do in life, every decision you make, there is a judgment for that. The Most High speaks expressly about rendering unto every man according as his work shall be. Things that you have done years ago, how you mistreated your woman, your children, a brother. You understand? The times that you stole, you lied, you were deceitful, you were full of guile. That's not having integrity, man. And those moments you don't have integrity and it's a sin unto you, it's going to be held against you at a set day. And that's how eventually Joab died, because Joab didn't have any integrity, man. He was emotional. He pursued his own, that's what I'm looking for, he had his own vision, man. He had his own motives. That's the word I'm looking for. He had his own motives. He had his whole thing going on. David is going this way. Joab, nah, look, we got to go this way. Right? So don't be like Joab, man. Don't be like Joab and be a man of bloody hands and a man with no integrity, because eventually it's going to catch up to you. But you got it, King.
Khan, that's right. You pulled 2 Kings 5 and 25? Okay, Khan. Let's go to 2 Kings chapter 5. And let's start at 23. Right? Yeah, and what happened to Gehazi, man? Right? He didn't have any integrity whatsoever. Right? This is the book of 2 Kings chapter 5 and verse 23. And the man said, be content. And that'd be a lot of Jake problem. You're not content, man, with what you have and what the Most High gave you. You want more shoes, more chains, more women, a better job, right? You want a bigger house, right? You're never content with what the Most High gave you. And that leads you down to a path of lust and envy. And now your eyes are beholding everything that has nothing to do with you. It says, take 2 talents. And he urged him and bound 2 talents of silver and 2 bags with 2 changes of garments and laid them upon 2 of his servants, and they buried them before him. And when he came to the tower, he took them for their hand and bestowed them in the house. And he left the men go, and they departed. But he went in and stood before his master. And Elisha said unto him, whence comest thou, man? And Elisha already knew where he came from, right? The spirit where it was resting on him, and he already perceived through discernment, right? That spirit. And sometimes you can already perceive on a brother or a sister their intent, man. You know, if a brother say, you may be at a gas station, the brother say, hey, you got a minute? Now, it don't take a genius to figure out that he's trying to finesse you, man. Or he wants some money, or he up to no good, or he's just up. You gotta watch him. It don't take a genius, man. Right? Gehazi could have been smirking, smiling. He could have been looking down, right? I mean, your countenance is going to bear witness of the spirit that you in. Like the Lord said, a man may be known by his look. You may salute a brother and then he not really in the spirit he was in last week. You can already perceive he's sad. Brother may be hiding something. Brother could be ready to cry. Hey, last camp, we seen a brother, man, he broke out in tears. And when we seen the brother, you know, he seemed upset, troubled, or something maybe, you know, going on. And as the word of the Most High came out, right, the brother broke down. So, I mean, it takes discernment and or the visits looking at a brother or sister to see what's going on. And Elisha, he was a wise man of understanding. So he could perceive right through the spirit that he was in guile. It says, whence comest thou? Gehazi, and he said, nay, servant went no whither, man. That's evil. It says, and he said unto him, went not mine heart with thee when the man turned again from his chariot to meet thee? See, he could have immediately repented, you know, and said, you know what? I apologize. I went off. He shouldn't have lied in the first place, man. He shouldn't have been covetous after gold, right? Silver, garments, right? The lust of your eyes and the lust of the flesh is going to overthrow, you know, a lot of people in this truth, man. You always want more. You have to be content with what the Most High gave you, man. There's somebody somewhere right now that wants what you have, man. And you have twice as much as they have. And the Lord told you in the book of, I believe, Luke, be content with your wages, man. So whatever the Most High giveth you is a blessing. That's James, the first chapter, right? It cometh down from the Father of lights. So these things are merciful and blessing, whatever the Most High did bestow on you. And it's only the lust of the flesh and envy that you want more. So he said, look, my heart, did not my heart go with thee? It says, is it a time to receive money and to receive garments and olive yards and vineyards and sheep and oxen and men servant and maid servant? So he was coming up, man. He wanted to hit the jackpot on the low, man. He wanted to cut him a deal, right? Like you work for somebody, but you sitting up there, you chopping something down on the side, man. That's evil. And he didn't have any integrity about the matter. And two, on a deeper level, when you look at this spiritually, he represents his master. Just like your children represent you, or your wife represents you, man. Let your wife steal something, man, and you at a gathering. You know, let your children, you know, do some ungodly act, man. That's his servant. So he will represent the spirit that he's in. So we will have to get judged, man. That's not a light matter. It says, the leprosy, therefore, of Laban shall cleave unto thee and unto thy seed forever. So you may see certain brothers and, you know, sisters walking around, you know, with that leprosy as of today. They may very well be descendants of Gehazi, man. And he didn't get judged just for the moment, right? The Lord put it on the spirit of Elisha to judge him and his seed line forever. It says, and he went out from his presence as leopard, as white as snow. So you could think having, you know, not having integrity is a light thing, man. Lying, being sneaky, right? And not reverencing your master, you understand, and a leader and somebody that's over you, and you being presumptuous doing your own thing, right? That judgment could very well rest on you. You know, nobody knows the judgment of the Most High. You may feel like, you know, you just stole or was a light matter, but then you could get judged tenfold out of nowhere, man. What you got it, King?
That's right. That's right. Let's go to Second Maccabees. That's what I want. Let's go to Second Maccabees. Right. Let's go to Second Maccabees, chapter 12. Right. Second Maccabees, chapter 12. So it's important, man. You know, like what brothers are going into, man. We approaching Passover, and it's not just because it's Passover. It should be an everyday situation, man. It should be an everyday situation where brothers are maintaining integrity, man. Right? You're being tried, you're going through the fire, right? You have clean hands. And real quick, like the Lord said in get this in Job 17 and 17 and 8 on down. Job chapter 17 and verse 8. Upright men shall be astonished at this, and the innocent shall stir up himself against the hypocrite. The righteous also shall hold on his way, and he that hath clean hands, it's lucky, shall be stronger and stronger. You see that? So the brother that has clean hands, meaning his works are pure. That's what it means. Everything he does is sincere. He's not going to camp to be seen of men. He's not waking up in the morning, how many men are going to see me? How many women are going to be out there, man? Right? How much money can we get, man? He's constantly looking into the treasury. Oh, wow. Damn, look at all this money, man. Look at all this dope. You know, he's picturing what he could buy. You know, he's looking at all the brother wives, man, as he takes his third shot of Duce, man. And he walks up past the woman, man. That's not being sincere. You want to have clean hands. You want to examine yourself, man. You know, especially you brothers that labor, man. You brothers that are out there in the highways and byways, and sisters that do righteous works in the household, right? It has to be not out of a spirit of competition, one-upping, folly, and vanity, right? Or just because somebody told you to do it, it should be in you to do it, man. You know, that's having clean hands, having a will and a desire to serve the Most High. And that's having integrity. And you're going to grow stronger and stronger. You see brothers that wax stronger in knowledge, stronger in faith, stronger in virtue. You have to, it's not a mystery, man. They don't snap their fingers, man. 3 times, click their heels, and they gain strength. Right? They don't have a secret device where they turn it on a wrist and they get stronger. And they come to camp and they diligent. Then after camp, they turn it back down. They charge it back. No, man. This isn't a movie, you know. Brothers that you see wax stronger and stronger, it's because they have clean hands. And by the grace and mercy of Yahweh Bashmi Amashai, he renders unto them according to their works. Right? Let me I want to get this in 2nd Maccabees.
Salakia, Amos backstage.
Okay, Khan. Shalom.
Shalom.
All right. Let's get this. This 2nd Maccabees. I want chapter 12 and verse number 30. Let's start at 38. So Judas gathered his host and came into the city of Adullam. And when the 7th day came, they purified themselves, as the custom was, and kept the Sabbath in the same place. And upon the day following, as the use had been, Judas and his company came to take up the bodies of them that were slain and to bury them with their kinsmen and their father's graves. So after the war, they're looking for all of the brothers that died so they could bury them. Now, under the coats of everyone that was slain, they found things consecrated to the idols of the Jamnites, which is forbidden by the Jews, which is forbidden the Jews by their law. Then every man saw that this was the cause whereof they were slain. All men, therefore, praising Yahweh, the righteous judge, who had opened the things that were hid. So you had these men that went to war, and all the men died. And a lot of times things happen to brothers and or sisters, and brothers may not understand exactly what happened, right? Rather, it was something traumatic in their life, or something harmful happened to them, or something happened to their car, or something happened at their job, or something happened to their health, or something happened to whatever. Now, it could be any reason, right? But the Most High, he'll open up the things that are hid. And all these men that died, you probably had Jake saying, man, they died. It was a tough battle. We'll get them on the next time. But why did these men die? It's because underneath their coats, they had idols, man. Secret sins, secret leaven, secret wickedness. That's wicked, man. How you going to war? You got 100 men and all y'all got the idols under your coats. Hoping this idol gives you victory in the battle. of the damn Jamnites. Let a brother go to camp, man, and the brother, he leave camp, man. The brother get arrested, and God forbid, right? Brother get damn shot, and the police kill him. What happened to the brother? Brothers might say, well, that's, he was a martyr for the Lord. The brother, he was a valiant man, right? But brothers may not know, man. He maybe had an idol under his damn coat, man. Strange punishment to the workers of iniquity, right? You see the brother secretly had a cross on, right? He was secretly serving other gods. Having integrity is not having secret leaven and idols underneath your coat, man. And the Most High, the Lord said, you got to praise when that stuff is brought to light. You got to praise the Most High. When things are brought to light on brothers, who opens up all of the things are hid. That's not a moment where you kind of like, well, that's crazy. You got to praise Yahweh Shemiah Shah. Because it's mercy for the Most High to show you how these men died so you don't live in that same fashion. And if the Most High didn't give you mercy, then you wouldn't have never known how these men died, man. And you would have heaped up sin upon sin. So you don't want to have secret idols under your coat, man, in these last days, spiritually speaking, your garment, man, because you're going to get slain, right? And the Most High is going to open up all the things that are hid. The brothers got it.
Come on. Let's go to Isaiah chapter 48, 9. Right? Isaiah chapter 48 and verse number 9. And you want to keep your word too, man. That's a real important part of having integrity. A brother has to believe the things that you say. You don't want to be that brother, you say something, the brothers just laugh. Or just, don't take you serious, man. Nothing you say holds any weight, man. Right? You tell your son you're gonna be there at his football game, right? He just laughs, man. Or he just goes to his room. Right? This is the book of Isaiah, chapter 48, and verse number 9. It says, for my name's sake, I will defer mine anger, and for my praise will I refrain from thee, that I cut thee not off. So the Lord said, look, for my name's sake, he cares about his name. Your name is everything, man. Whatever you say has to be like all of the elders trembled when Samuel came into town, man. It's not because Samuel, was beating up people, man. The spirit he was in, the things he said didn't hit the ground. It wasn't just said presumptuously out of nowhere, and it didn't hold no weight. Whatever, imagine a brother coming around, whatever he say come to pass, man. That's scary. That have a brother, on his cue, man, like they say, man. That have a brother really examine how he's moving, right? You want to have that type of spirit. It said, for my name's sake will I defer mine anger. Man, you may be so angry at your son, but you told him y'all was gonna shoot hoops, when you get home from work. Whatever you say, right? You don't want to be that brother making promises, a brother saying he gonna do something, gonna be there for his children, his wife, his congregation, his people. You may tell a brother, you're gonna travel, or whatever the case may be. Something came up, man. You know how it is. You don't want to be that type of brother. It says, for my praise will I refrain from thee, that I cut thee not off. Behold, I have refrained, so I can refine thee, but not with silver. I have chosen thee in the furnace of affliction. So the Most High doesn't choose you in a field of lilies. He chooses you in the furnace of affliction. So that's how you really can be proved and tested for the Most High. It says, for my own sake, even for my own sake will I do it. Right? Meaning what? We defiled the Most High's name. We went off. We committed idolatry, adultery, fornication. Right? We were just like Sodom and Gomorrah, man. You can read about that in Ezekiel, the 16th chapter. Right? We went off as a nation of people, man. But yet, because the Most High's promises, because of his love, and he kept his name, he has integrity. Imagine being so mad. Look, when you want to break it down and really look at it as it is, we committed, idolatry on the Most High, man. Right? Fornication, spiritual fornication. A lot of us fell away in Christianity, right? We fell away in Islam. We fell away in our lust of this world, celebrities, actresses, movies, Hollywood, sorcery. The Most High could have very well cut us off and made a new nation of people out of Moses, like he said, all the way in Deuteronomy 32, man. Most High could do what he want to do for his name's sake. His promises, his integrity, and his love. That's the type of spirit you want to image after. It says, for my own sake, even for my own. You may do something just to have the preeminence, man. You may be upset, but you do it because you said you're going to do it, man. That's what men do. It says, well, I do it for how should my name be polluted? Right? Meaning what, man? See, if the Most High reneged on the promises that he set forth, the heathen, you understand, will have a room to joy over us, and we will be swallowed up, and his name will be polluted, right? His name will be polluted, him not keeping his word, and his name will be polluted amongst the Gentiles, man. It says, and I will not give my glory unto another. Meaning somebody could glory over, right, something the Most High didn't do. And the Most High is not going to give any glory unto another. He's going to keep his preeminence, right, in his integrity. That's why, this is very important, how the Most High's love and his compassion has to grow more and more each day. And how his mercies are new, each morning through the Spirit. Brothers got it.
You got something?
Just a quick precept. Am I choppy? I'm good.
Now you good.
Okay, let's go to Sirach, chapter 20 and verse 27. Right, to let me back on what the brother Ryan was saying. Right, your words as a man, they hold value, they hold weight, and that's all you really have. Right, whatever you say, you have to honor what you do. Right, it's Sirach 20 and 27. A wise man shall promote himself to honor with his words, and he that has understanding will please great men. So a wise man is going to use his words to promote himself and be honorable, an integrable man, right? With the things that you say, they're going to be judged in the balance, right? Not just of men, but of Yahweh Shem Yahushua. Right? You can say the wrong thing at the wrong time, and it's a foul blot in your garment for the rest of your life. You can tell somebody you're going to do something, you're going to help them move. I'm going to loan you this money, and their life depends on it, and your phone just miraculously turns off. Right? People hold that to you, right? And now you're unvaluable. You hold no weight. You're just a vessel fit for destruction now in people's eyes because you didn't let your words truly move in an integrable way. That's Proverbs 11 and 3. Right? We might as well bring that out. Right? Proverbs 11 and 3. Right? Proverbs 11 and 3. And it reads, the integrity of the upright shall guide them, but the perverseness of transgressors shall destroy them. Right? So the upright man is going to use his integrity to guide the way that he ought to go in these last days, to move in a certain manner that's opposite of the world, that's opposite of these Negroes who say they're in the truth, but their actions don't show. Right? So your uprightness should guide you unto the path of straight and narrow, unto the path of being a reliable brother, a reliable sister. Right? A reliable father, a reliable husband, a reliable wife. Right? That's what integrity helps you do. It's a pathway, right? How the highways had those dotted lines, so you know to stay in this lane and that lane, and then you got the exit. Those paths are guided for you to get to where you need to go, and that's the same thing with the integrity that the Most High set up for men to have in these last days.
That's right. That's right. I want to get the book of Jeremiah. Right, that's an excellent point. Let's go to Jeremiah chapter 37. Let's see where I want to start. Right, this is Jeremiah chapter 37. I'm gonna read 1 and 2, then I'm gonna jump down. It reads, and King Zedekiah, the son of Josiah, reigned instead of Konaiah, the son of Jehoiakim, whom Nebuchadnezzar, king of Babylon, made king in the land of Judah. So the Lord set up this king right after the previous king was taken to Egypt, and the next king was taken to Babylon. Then he set up Zedekiah, a puppet king, to rule over the Jews. But neither he nor his servants, nor the people of the land did hearken unto the words of the Lord, which he spake by Jeremiah the prophet. And Zedekiah the king sent Jehukal, the son of Shelemiah, and Zephaniah, the son of Maaseiah, the priest to the prophet Jeremiah, saying, pray now unto Yahweh our God for us. And this isn't sincere. Zedekiah asking for the Lord to pray for us isn't sincere because Zedekiah didn't hearken to the words of the Most High. Now Jeremiah came in and went out among the people, for they had not put him in prison. Now I want to jump down, right? This is Jeremiah. Then they ended up putting him in prison, right? When you read this account, I'm not going to read the whole account. They thought Jeremiah fell away to the Chaldeans and they put him in prison, right? Now this is Jeremiah chapter 37 and verse number 17. Then Zedekiah the king sent and took him out, and the king asked him secretly in his house and said, is there any word from the Lord? And Jeremiah said, there is. For said he, thou shalt be delivered into the hand of the king of Babylon. So the Lord said, look, there is a word from the Lord, man. You want to be, this isn't sincere. This isn't having integrity, because it's funny because Jeremiah, the Lord used Jeremiah to jam him up quick, man. Right? The Lord quick on the spirit, man. And Zedekiah, he knew that Jeremiah was a prophet of the Lord. And he didn't hear him publicly, so he went to him secretly, man. He said, what's the word of the Lord? What's that breakdown? Let me get that precept. That's like you scoffing at camp in front of 10,000 people, and after camp, you kind of stay around and say, what was that? Was that Deuteronomy chapter 28? That's wickedness, man. And that's why there's a judgment for a lack of sincerity and a lack of integrity. The Lord said, you're going to be delivered into the hand of the king of Babylon. Moreover, Jeremiah said unto Zedekiah, what have I offended thee, or against thy servants, or against his people, that ye have put me in prison? Where are now your prophets which prophesied unto you, saying the king of Babylon shall not come against you, nor this land? Right? So when you read this account, this is another account of not having integrity. Because who are you to come before the prophet and ask him secretly what's the word of the Lord when it was given to you publicly, man? And you should have accepted the word of the Lord publicly. It's like a brother, part of having integrity is taking rebuke. You know, brother say, hey, Ak, you know, you did this, you did that, you know, you moving in this spirit, you're doing that. And you're supposed to take that rebuke, man. Not get proud and then call that brother on the side and say, yeah, Ak, yeah, you was right, you was right. But publicly, you didn't take the rebuke, man. You know, you want to be a man of virtue and honor. If you went off, hey, you got to say, yeah, I went off. Hey, look, that's on me. I own that. A Salakia. That's what a real man of the Lord is about, man. You don't go around circumnavigating and trying to, you know, play what they say, play the 50, man. Araya get on me because I stole $50. I say, no, I ain't take that $50, man. You know I ain't take that $50. Then I secretly, Araya opened up his book bag. He found $50 with a note that says, sorry about that. Right? That's wickedness, man. Men of the Lord, they take rebuke and they take correction too, man. You don't act a you know what and get all proud, but you know, really you went off, man. That's an effeminate spirit to have. A brother getting on you, but you know in the back of your mind you went off, but you have no integrity, so you're just going to argue back, man, for the sake of looking bad. Don't have a Zedekiah spirit, man. Don't have that spirit. Be a man of virtue and a man of integrity. Own up to your mistakes, man. Own up to your shortcomings. Own up to your downfalls. Accept reproof and rebuke, man. That's what men of integrity are about as well. All right, but brothers got it.
Con. Yeah, you can go to the book of John, chapter 12, and verse number 42. Right? Right. And a lot of those Jews, they didn't have integrity at all, man. They loved the praise of man. They love the praise at a synagogue. They love being in the in crowd, man. That's like a lot of Israel today, man. Everybody want to be accepted. Everybody want to be in the end, man. Nobody wants to stand up for the truth. Right? Somebody going off, they going off, man. It doesn't matter who they are or how high they are of knowledge or who man deems them to be, man. Right? You have to have integrity for the Most High. Right? You have to stand up for the truth. And standing up for the truth, you know, you may stand alone, man. And the Lord said, who shall stand against the workers of iniquity? Paraphrasing greatly, man. That's what the Lord said. Who shall stand up before me, before the workers of iniquity, man? So somebody has to stand up. Somebody has to be the voice. Somebody has to go against, you know, the multitude. right? It's the book of John, chapter 12, and verse 42. It says, nevertheless, amongst the chief rulers, also many believed on him. And that's off. Right? How you gonna believe on the Lord, but act like you don't believe on the Lord in the same time, huh? Right? I want to hold this precept and go to the book of Acts real fast. Let's go to the book of Acts, chapter 4. Right? In verse 15. I'm gonna start at 14. And I'm gonna go back to that precept. It says, and beholding the man which was healed, standing with them, they could say nothing against it. Meaning, what could they say, man? They seen the miracles. They seen the acts of the apostles. They seen the acts of Yahweh. What can you say against it? But when they had commanded them to go aside out of the council, they conferred amongst themselves, saying, what should we do to these men? Meaning they have on a wicked counsel, man. They know they can't deny the works. They know they can't deny the spirit of the Most High. It says, for that indeed a noble miracle have been done by them is manifest to all them that dwell in Jerusalem, and we cannot deny it. But that is spread no further among the people, let us straightly threaten them that they speak henceforth to no man in this name. So that's off, man. They can't say, you know what, this is the truth, right? We can't deny it. It's manifest, right? I mean, you will have to be a complete bug out and demon to perceive the miracles of the Most High and not stand up for righteousness, man. These men had no integrity of the Lord. They cared too much about their power, their seat, and their rulership, man. And that's a lot of men in this truth, man. That's why a lot of preeminence and glory and strength in the seat of the judge goes before the commandments of the Most High for a lot of men, man. They want to have the last word. They want to always be right. They don't ever want to be wrong. They want to be the highest and the top guy. All of these top names. It says, and they called them and commanded them not to speak at all, nor teach in the name Yahushua. Right? And it says, but Peter and John answered. Let's see what the men of the Lord said. And saying to them, whether it be right in the sight of God to hearken unto you more than unto God, judge ye. Meaning, look, I'm not going to speak the things you want me to speak. I don't care what you want me to say. I don't care who you are. It says, whether it be right in the sight of God to hearken unto you more than unto Yahweh, judge ye. I mean, I'm going to hearken unto the Most High more than I'm going to hearken unto you. And that's what the men of the Lord said, man. For we cannot but speak the things which we have seen and heard. I mean, I'm going to stand up, right, for the truth and what the Lord said, man, more than what you feel or what can happen to me. And they would thrust you out of the synagogues and they would beat you in the ancient world, man.
Right.
And you could go back to John chapter 12, Baba Gashar. It's John chapter 12, verse 42. It says, nevertheless, amongst the chief rulers also many believed on him. But because of the Pharisees, they did not confess him, lest they should be put out of the synagogues. And they had no integrity within themselves to be men, to stand up for righteousness. And a large amount of integrity is having a backbone, man. Not being pushed around. Here this brother coming with this mysterious book, man. Right? And he opened it. It's a big book. And he opened it up, right? He knocked the dust off of it. And he said, read that right there. And you start reading it and getting seduced, and then it's a spiritual invisible chain wrapped around your neck. Next thing you know, you're in spiritual exile, man. Right? You're in the graveyard. You're seeing things that ain't there, right? All because you didn't stand up and rebuke that brother, man. It says, for they love the praise of men more than the praise of God, man. And you can't love the praise of men more than the praise of the Most High. See, just because you can't see the Most High well pleased at your actions doesn't mean that these things aren't being recorded, man. And there isn't a book of remembrance. And these things aren't jotting down in all your actions, right? It says, for they love the praise of men more than the praise of God. And man can make you feel some type of highness about yourself, man. They could clap for you, they could stomp, right? They could dap you up, they could pat you on the back, right? They glorify your name. And this brother right here, he's the mightiest brother in all Israel. But you can't take that over the Most High. The brothers got it.
Okay. Amos, you had something?
La.
Okay, Kanye, let me I'm gonna get this real quick to kind of add to that. Let's go to the book of Ecclesiasticus. Right, let's go to the book of Ecclesiasticus. Yeah, that's a horrible spirit to have, man. That's that Zedekiah, the wicked men. You have secret disciples of the Lord, man. Like I was going to, you have secret disciples of Yahweh Shem Yahushua, man. This is Ecclesiasticus chapter 20 and verse. I'm gonna read 1 through I'll read 1 through 3. It reads, there is a reproof that is not comely. Again, some man holdeth his tongue, and he is wise. So you might get a reproof from a brother, but it might not be comely, man. Right? You might have to, use colorful language if it comes to that, man. The anger of the Lord might rise up in you, man. The wrath that it might be kindled in you. You might have to lean on the brother, man. It may not be comely, right? It may not be what a brother wants to hear, but you have to say it. And again, some man holdeth his tongue, and he is wise. And another man might say, you know what, it may not be the right time. Maybe this brother, I'm gonna talk to him one-on-one, or this situation happened, it may not be the right season. Whatever the case may be, it's a feast day. He'll hold his tongue, and he's wise. It is much better to reprove than to be angry secretly, and he that confesseth his fault shall be preserved from hurt. How good is it when thou art reproved to show repentance, for so thou shalt escape willful sin. And it's way much better to correct the brother than to be holding on to a grudge. You better off correcting the brother, because that anger is going to turn into a demon. Now, every time you see that brother, you're thinking evil thoughts. Now you just think evil about the brother all day. Now it turns into a grudge, and now it turns into a murder demon. Now you want to hurt the brother. You're throwing up curses on the brother. You better off just getting it off your chest in righteousness, man. Hey, look, I don't like the way that you did this. You did this, you did that, you did that. You're better off saying that, man. Right? And speaking what's on your mind. Right? The Lord said in Proverbs 27:5, open rebuke is better than secret love. And the kisses of an enemy are deceitful, paraphrasing. And the Lord also said, how good is it when thou art reproved to show repentance? And that's a beautiful thing, man. Right? When a brother corrects you, you say, look, you know what, man? You're right. That's a hard thing for Jake to say in Israel. You know what, you're right. I don't know how many times I heard that, man. Y'all brothers heard that often? Just all, yeah, you know what? You got debates going on, you got this going on. A brother could be getting cut to pieces, man. And the brother is still keep arguing, man. Like we did with this guy, we did with the guy with the water baptism. Right? And brothers are still keep arguing, man. Now we know the Most High put spirits on people, but that's an effeminate spirit to have. You get cut, you silent for 5 minutes, thinking of a situation where you could bring back up on the brother. Well, remember what you did last January? Well, that has nothing to do with anything. Right? And then you get dismantled on that. Then you're thinking again, what can I think on this brother? He's cutting me to shreds. I got to find something. Instead of just owning up, it's a beautiful thing to just say, you right, I'm wrong, I'm going to work on it. A lot of brothers, he got 1,000 things to say, 20 excuses. He analyzing all of your faults, man. Right? That's not a good spirit to have. Right? You want to be a man of virtue, man. And just keep it brief, man. You don't have to say 1,000 things. Khan King, Khan Salakia. Right? It says, for so thou shalt escape willful sin. That's how you escape willful sin. Because if you don't show humility like Moses and like our forefathers in times of reproof, if you don't show, not that Moses needs to be reproved, but if you don't show that humility, then guess what, man? It's going to add demons into you. Now you're going to be willfully sinning because you're not going to examine yourself, right? You're not going to check your spirit, and you're going to be proud in every work that you do. So it's a beautiful thing when you could just own up, like I was saying earlier, own up to your shortcomings as a man and not add 1,000 reasons on why something happened, man. You want to have a spirit of honor. Honor is another word that goes with integrity. And that's lacking amongst Jake. Jake doesn't have any damn honor anymore. And I think, Ryan, you kind of said this is hard to teach your brother honor. It got to be or you said integrity, but honor kind of the same thing. It got to be in you. Certain things are kind of got to be in you. I can see through example, right, and through these scriptures, but brothers have to also have honor, man. Right, let me get one quick precept in Proverbs real quick in 21. The Lord said, Shem and Seth were in great honor among men, and so was Adam above every living thing in the creation. This Proverbs 21 and 21. He that followeth after righteousness and mercy findeth life, righteousness, and honor. You don't want to be a dishonorable brother, right? You want to be an honorable brother. They look at you. Look, that's I could trust that brother. If I was in a situation, hey, that brother, he'll take care of my family. Hey, I can loan that brother money. I know he'll pay me back. He might add more on it, man. I know if I called that brother and I was in the jam, hey, that brother would be there for me, right? That's how you want brothers to perceive you. That's how you want the Most High to perceive you. That's how you want your woman to perceive you. Because you can be virtuous and honorable amongst brothers, then you go home and you're a demon at home. So also integrity and honor, they go hand in hand. Honor goes hand in hand. And then one more point, back in the ancient world, brothers had honor, even in the medieval times. When Jake was the knights and we were those the warriors and the men in the Holy Roman Empire, we established honor, man. We were called lords, they were ladies. We had chivalry, and knights had a spirit of honor. They had dignity, they had morals. There were things that they wouldn't compromise, things that they wouldn't do. That's how even the ancient knights were, man. They were well. Oh, go ahead, King.
So, like, I was about to make one quick point. Yeah, they'll bring in the messengers, and sometimes they won't shoot them, even though they're the enemy, just so they could bring back the message.
That's right. That's right. That's a good point. They show you that in the movie 300. He did the opposite. Remember, the messenger came and he was like earth and water, and he killed the messenger. They'll let these guys come in and bring evil tidings. Right? I'm gonna kill you and your king. They'll come up with here's a messenger from the heathen king. I'm gonna kill you and your army, and they'll write back, tell your heathen king I said this. So that there was honor even in war. Even one more point, even ancient kings had honor. They wouldn't even kill a lot of these kings, man. They would capture them, and they would they would exile these kings, and if they killed these kings, they would bury them. Like Alexander, Darius, other Persian kings, when they went to war, when you study that, a lot of times they wouldn't brutalize those kings. They would give them a burial, right? They would either capture them, they would make them, like Hannibal, they would make him a council in the government. They respected those kings, man. When they went to war against Hannibal, they didn't kill Hannibal. They said, look, man, we're going to put you as this, in this seat of power, and you're going to be a council. When Napoleon was defeated, they sent Napoleon to exile, to some strange land. They didn't kill him and torture him. So even in the ancient times, even kings in war, there was a spirit of honor. Now Jake do diss tracks in Israel, man. You got diss tracks in Israel. You got exposed videos. I'm exposed this brother. I'm exposed my husband. Where is it at in the scriptures, man? I'm exposed my husband. I'm going live on my husband. Right? You got Israel is into the age of exposure, vanity, viralness, and there's no honor, man. There's no honor. Right? But brothers got it.
God. Yeah, it's a shame how low we've been cast down.
Yeah.
Right. Even thinking about how people think that exposing people for a season is something that's profitable to anybody. It makes you look bad. It makes you look 10 times worse. You weren't able to overcome that and even chalk it up as a loss and continue with your path. And not let something deter you and cause you to go and suffer sin and evil for evil. Right, let's go to Sirach chapter 4 and verse number 20. Right, Lord willing, Israel receives this and they start being more honorable in these last days, man. Right, because if you don't stand for something, you're gonna fall for everything. Every wind of doctrine, money come around. That's what they said happened in the old One West school. Heathen came with a blank check, put it down on the table, and walked out. Some men compromise their integrity and their honor for $1, for $1, which they probably can't even spend now. It's probably all gone and burnt up. Right? This is Sirach chapter 4 and verse number 20. Observe the opportunity and beware of evil, and be not ashamed when it concerneth thy soul. Right? So you got to observe the opportunity and beware of the evil that's around. And don't be ashamed to stand up for your name when it's concerning your own soul.
Right.
Speak up for yourself.
Right.
Don't let anybody just put smut on your name and you just sit there, oh, well, you know, if they say it, then it's true. I know better. No. Man up and speak up for yourself.
Right.
Have some integrity. I can't say what I want to say, but you got to have some, as men, you got to have some yes. And speak up and say what needs to be said, right? It says, for there's a shame that bringeth sin, and there's a shame which is glory and grace, right? Because there's a shame that bringeth forth sin, right? You put your head down, and then you go and do 10 times worse, right? But there's a shame that brings a man to stand upon his feet, and he's not going to let that happen to him again, right? That's why in some camps, right, they suspend you for a certain amount of time to see if your spirit's going to get right, to see what you're going to do. And when you come back, you're a totally different person, right? That sin isn't still weighing you down. That sin isn't bound you up in a figure 4 leg lock so you can't move and you tapping on the mat, right? Verse number 22, it said, accept no person against thy soul, and let not the reverence of any man cause thee to fall. And that happens a lot, right? You let the reverence of another man cause you to fall. You let somebody else's stature or how they're looked at in Israel, at work, on the basketball court, in the courthouse, cause you to fall, man. How many innocent men are sitting behind prison because they copped a plea for their homeboy, right, who isn't taking care of their children? Right, they're not giving their family food to eat while you sitting behind doing 23-1. Oh, you got it, King.
It's like a lot of these dudes, man, they end up dealing with their women, dealing with their women and committing adultery.
God, and that's a foolish thing to do, right? Because earlier in this chapter, it says that wisdom will walk with you in your crooked ways. So wisdom have you understand when it's time to speak, when it's not time to speak, when it's time to defend a brother, when it's not time to defend a brother. Right? Wisdom gives you all this understanding. Right? And wisdom comes with honor. Right? You read about that in Hebrews 11 when it talks about faith. Faith comes with honor. Right? All these things tie into one. They're like synonyms. Right? You may look up a word on Google, you click that little arrow pointed down, and there's 50 other words. Right? All these tie into one. Right? Faith, honor, integrity. Right, that's all. It's essentially one word, just spelled differently. Right, but you got it, King.
And to add on top of that, it's a lot of people that'll do anything just because somebody's at a high stature. Paul rebuked Peter, man, and it is what it is. And he stood up for what he believed in. We might as well get that. Right. Galatians chapter 2. Right? This is the mighty book of Galatians chapter 2. And I'm going to start at verse 11. But when Peter was come to Antioch, I withstood him to the face because he was to be blamed. Right? He didn't say, well, this is Peter. He's the rock of the church. Let me go over here and mind my business. No, he said, you know what? I withstood him to the face. Meaning I confronted him face to face. He didn't talk about them behind their back. You got a lot of people that'll murmur behind your back. They'll slander your name. And they really do that because they're scared of you, man. They're scared of the spirit you in. They're scared of, what you might say to them. Right? A lot of men may be scared to confront or rebuke or pull a brother up, man. But Paul didn't have that spirit, man. It says, before that certain came from James, he did eat with the Gentiles. But when they were come, he withdrew and separated himself, fearing them which were of the circumcision. So Paul said, look, if you're going to eat with them, man. No matter if the circumcision coming or not, don't switch up just because the circumcision coming around, man. That's like me not being at camp. I got a suit on, no fringes, right? And I'm at the damn bar with a neat martini, man. I'm just somebody else. When brothers come around, I yank my damn thing off and put some fringes back on. A brother gonna rebuke you, young. He gonna get on you, brother. What's going on? I had a brother ask me, if I attended a heathenistic wedding and I did this and I did that, is it off? I said, hey, Ak, would you do that if brothers were around watching you? That really changes the way a brother will really answer a lot of questions because that integrity and that mind that you have while brothers are looking at you, if you won't do that while brothers are looking at you, you shouldn't do that if brothers ain't looking at you, man. If you feel smitten and condemned in your mind over certain things, maybe that's not the best bet of things you should be doing. Everything isn't necessarily a sin, but you don't want to carve that, take it, make it a doctrine, put it on the top of your pedestal, and start moving in different spirit because you'll overthrow yourself. You have discernment, you have wisdom, you have things you ought to move in, right? And it's profitable and prudent to move in a way like Paul did, man. Right? If Paul didn't rebuke Peter, Peter may not have been smitten, in the heart, and may have changed from the things he did. And I got this quick clip. Brother seen this, man, but this is not having integrity and just being the Lord said, make yourself not an hireling to a foolish man. Bring this out real quick. It's when Michael Jordan slapped.
Yeah.
Look at him.
Yeah.
Just slapping him around.
Yeah. Yeah.
Now, if that was any other man, he wouldn't have let him do that. But because that's Michael Jordan, he somehow could get away with that.
Yeah. Michael Jordan was punching people in the face, man.
Steve Kerr.
Yeah, he was punching dudes in the nose and he was spitting on people.
It's madness.
He was playing with one of his teammates' mothers. And he was cheating, hiding money so he can beat them all.
And then I remember in that documentary, he said, I wanted to win and I wanted them to win. He said something, if you don't want to win, you don't have to play like that. Something like that, man. He was being a demon. He was a demon. And he's still a demon.
23 right? Demon.
Yeah, he was being a demon, man. So these are spirits of virtue and honor. And like brothers always say, being virtuous is not just for a woman. You read Proverbs 31, who could find a virtuous woman? Well, brothers can be virtuous too, man. Brothers can also be virtuous, man. Right? You want to again, when it's all said and done, every day the sun go down, the day's over. You don't want to be pricked with your sins. You want to be a man of integrity. Was I a man of honor today? Was I a man of virtue today? Was I a man of the Lord, man? This in your conscience. This is 2 Peter 1:5. And beside this, given all diligence, add to your faith virtue, and to virtue knowledge. Right. So I want to just get this word virtue real quick in the Greek. Right. Once you believe in Yahweh Shai, it doesn't just rest there. It doesn't just stop that you believe in the Most High. You add daily to increase. Like the Lord said, that you increase more and more in the book of 1 Thessalonians 4:10. Now here's the word virtue in the Greek, arete, right? If I'm pronouncing that correctly, it reads a virtuous course of thought, feeling, and action. right? Like the Lord said in Sirach 14 and 20, blessed is the man that doeth meditate good things in wisdom, and that reasoneth of holy things by his understanding. So you want to have a good course of thought. A man of honor, he's thinking of honorable things, right? He's thinking about how to serve his people, how to build up his nation, how to magnify the name of the Most High, how to get his house in order. That's having a good course of thought, right? You don't want to be a brother where you just think about sin and lust and eating and filling your belly all day, man, and just the flesh, right? It reads virtue, moral goodness, any particular moral excellence as modesty and purity, right? Now here's some more. Properly, manliness. So the Bible defines manliness. The world defines manliness, but it's satanic. The Most High defines it, and it's full of virtue and integrity, right? It's like your manliness, valor, right? Like you have ancient, you read in the scriptures, you have men of valor, men fit for the battle, the hardiness, hardy men of the Lord, the manliness of the Jews, men of valor, right? Men of war. Those are you had men like that in the ancient world, man. You want to be a man of valor. In the army, they have certain awards and medals you get for being a man of valor, man. You know, maybe you went to battle and your brother got shot, but you ran and you went to go pick him up. There was no command to do it, but you picked him up on your shoulders and you carried him back to base. That's being a man of valor, right? Maybe your base was getting shot up by the enemy. Everybody fled, but you stood there and you let off and you killed all of the enemy, man. Right? That's a man of valor. You want to be a brother of valor, a man of might spiritually with making sound decisions that are full of virtue, man. You know, and they awarded men like that. This guy, he get the gold medal or the, I don't know all of the medals, but they had the Medal of Honor. I believe that's what it's called. Let me just look that up real quick.
The Purple Heart.
Is that what it is? Purple Heart?
God.
Okay, let me get this one too real quick. So this is the Medal of Honor, and it's in this damn Doubles Army, man. It's the United States Armed Forces highest military decoration and is awarded to recognize American soldiers, sailors, Marines, airmen, guardians, like a watchman, right? Coast guardsmen, right? You see the sword coming upon the coast, who have distinguished, meaning you separated yourself, distinguished themselves by acts of valor, right? And these are things that acts of valor and war, again, are things that nobody really told you to do. Nobody really knows about, right? Nobody until it came to light, right? There's a lot of war stories about certain feats that men did, man. Read 2 Samuel 23. Read those mighty men that everybody fled, but one man stood and killed all the Philistines. When Jonathan and his armor bearer destroyed all of the Philistines, man. In 1 Samuel, the 14th chapter, that was an act of valor. And he saved Israel, man. You want to be a man of valor, right? So there are things that you normally may do that's part of your day-to-day routine, but then you go above and beyond. You exceed expectations. You know, you're zealous, you're on fire. You go out of your way to do more than what the standard is, right? You said the Purple Heart, right? Purple Heart. It's the United States military decoration awarded in the name of the president to those wounded or killed while serving, right? And that's an honorable award, man. You were serving, you was fighting. Maybe you couldn't finish your tenure in the military, you know. Hey, but you got that award, man. You got your Purple Heart, you know, or you died in battle. Like a martyr, a man of the Lord, you know. So there are acts of valor and men of valor. That's what this word virtue goes into. Manliness, valor, you know, excellence, intrinsic or attributed, praise and virtue, right? So that's a beautiful definition right there. And that's the first thing the Lord said you add to your faith. You don't have to add all of the in-depth breakdowns and the 70 weeks and the 10 horns and No, you add to your faith. Once you come into this knowledge, you learn how to be a man. The manliness, valor. You learn integrity. You learn discipline. You learn how to deal with your brother. You learn how to build up yourself. That's the first thing you add. You add to your faith virtue. And then you add knowledge. Because you got brothers who skip that step, then they get knowledge and they turn into a demon. They get all puffed up. You can't tell them nothing. Right? They out there for vainglory. They don't know what's going on because they skipped this step. They skipped the step of adding virtue and applying the works of our fathers to their life, man. And they hop right into knowledge. Right? And you can't do that, man. This is the playbook. And you can't go off a script. This is a script, man. You know, you can't go rogue or go AWOL. You got to follow the protocol, the playbook that the Most High gave you. The brothers got it. The brothers had anything else?
Now, brothers got it.
No, we can wrap up.
Con. I'll bring out the classic in the book of Revelation, right? Chapter 3. Right? It's the book of Revelation, chapter 3, and verse number 2. It says, "Be watchful and strengthen the things which remain that are ready to die, for I have not found thy works perfect before God." Right? And this is chiefly going into examination and repentance. So that's one of the most beautiful things you can do is examine and repent and clean yourself, man, in these last days. Right? You're not going to be saved, like the brother said, from the most mightiest breakdowns. Right? The Most High is coming back for them to have no guile in their mouth, man. Right? And the only way you could do that is by being clean. It says, "Remember therefore how that has received and heard, and hold fast." Meaning what? It's a spirit going around in Israel of swaying back and forth, falling away, being seduced. And the Lord said, hold fast. When you hold something fast, you don't let it go. Meaning you don't switch something up every 2 years. What the Most High gave you and rooted you in, don't uproot that and be planted somewhere else. Because you may be planting yourself in another garden that's not of the Most High. It says, "And repent. If therefore thou shalt not watch, I will come on thee as a thief, and thou shalt not know what hour I will come upon thee." So make sure that brothers are maintaining their integrity in the last days and doing everything they can do to magnify the Most High and His beloved Son, Yahweh Shah.
Con. To end off, I think it's fitting. Let's go to Second Maccabees, the 6th chapter. We can go to the 30th verse, right? And this is about an aged man named Eleazar, for those who may not have read it. But I think this is an example of pure virtue and honor right here. And as we move into this Passover season, I want to encourage everybody on this live to think about the virtue that you bring forth to Israel and what virtue that you will leave forth to the generation to come. Lord forbid that we see another president come or however it may be, but what virtue you will leave, right? This is 2 Maccabees chapter 6 and verse number 30. It says, "But when he was ready to die with stripes, he groaned and said it was manifest unto the Lord that hath the holy knowledge that whereas I might have been delivered from death, I now endure sore pains in body by being beaten, but in soul and well content to suffer these things because I fear him." Right? So this aged honorable man was more willing to die for the Lord than to cop a plea to be accepted and to be praised by men, right? Just as little as eating swine's flesh. And it said, "And thus this man died, leaving his death for an example of a noble courage and a memorial of virtue, not only unto young men, but unto all his nation." So again, I encourage everybody on here to examine, to think, what virtue, what example, and what noble courage are you leaving forth to the children who look up to us, right? Sisters to the sisters who look up to you, right? Think about it and apply it tenfold as we get closer into the Lord's Passover.
Con is right. Let's go to Luke. Right, Salaki. Let's go to St. Luke, chapter 22 and verse number 31. Right? Luke 22 and 31. "And the Lord said, Simon, Simon, behold, Satan hath desired to have you, that he may sift you as wheat. But I have prayed for thee that thy faith fail not, and when thou art converted, strengthen thy brethren. And like we always, been saying, man, Satan is going to and fro on the earth right now, man. Chiefly amongst Israel, man. Concerning brothers being stripped away of their virtue, man. Right? Sisters being stripped away of their integrity, knowledge being stripped away, morals being stripped away, right? Madness being put into brothers' hearts, man. Satan is going to and fro on the earth, man. And his desire is that he may sift you as wheat. He desires every single one of us, man. And every day you're going to deal, again, like we've been saying, you're going to deal with the fire. You're going to be tested. You're going to be tried. But you have to come out as gold. And it says, but I have prayed for thee. And we got to pray for one another, man. You got to pray for your brothers. Pray for your people. That thy faith fail not, that they stay in this knowledge, right? That they stay believing in Yahweh Bashmi Awashah. When thou art converted, strengthen thy brethren. And that's the playbook, man. Once you get built up in his knowledge, you get built up in his truth, your job is to labor for those that seek learning and strengthen your brethren. That's what Yahweh did, man. Right? He didn't see his brother getting sifted out and say, that's that brother, man. He's about to fall out the truth. He's about to get sifted out. Let's see how he falls, how hard his fall is going to be. No, he prayed for him, man. Right? He prayed for him and he instructed him. So understand, sifting season is amongst us. Keep your guard up. Make sure you're reading, you're studying, you're praying, you're fasting. You stay rooted. You stay 10 toes down for Yahweh Bashmi Awashah, and you don't go astray and fall out the way in the last days. I know, Slacky, I know the title is Q&A. We may do a Q&A throughout the week, to make up for that. So, Salakia, we weren't able to get to too many questions or any questions, right? But it's up to Yahweh Bashmi Awashah. Most High willing, we could open up another time where we can answer the questions and even, see these ones on the comment board and go back and knock those out, most High willing, right? Anytime. So, with that, Shalom, Brother Naquan.
Shalom, Brother Ryan.
Shalom, Brother Amos.
Come. Shalom.